Our friends on the Wernicke-Korsakoff's Facebook page remind us how important nutrition is to the creation of this illness. Although our emphasis has been on the part that alcohol plays, because that has been our experience, we're always aware that Korsakoff's develops from malnutrition. It is, after all, a vitamin deficiency. In 1947, Duodenner and Lennox wrote a notable paper on their experience of 52 soldiers who had been held prisoners of war by the Japanese and who had developed Wernicke's encephalopathy. Neither is vitamin deficiency just a matter of starvation. We are aware of a gentleman who was allergic to some foods which caused him to vomit. He was eating but vomiting following a meal. The result was the same. He always insisted that his alcohol intake was low, but he was deprived of vitamin B, which led to Wernicke's encephalopathy and Korsakoff's. A vitamin B awareness group has now started on Facebook, and it is something we support and applaud. What constantly gnaws at us is that if Wernicke's can be identified, then it must be possible to find a method of prevention from it developing into Korsakoff's. Now, with regard to alcohol, we are stepping into the realms of human behavior and individual rights. The impetus to stop drinking must come from the person, and those who have experience of alcoholics will know that we are now talking about an action that is extremely difficult. I am aware of a young man. He is 32 and down to 5.5 stone. In the last year, he has repeatedly been in and out of hospital, and the bottom line is that he cannot stop drinking. It will, of course, kill him. Some years ago, we supported a talented musician who physically was on the edge. By that I mean that there were times when, by the look of him, he must have been close to death. He kept absconding from hospital. We kept taking him back. Eventually, after several months, you could see that he had turned a corner and was beginning to lose that gaunt look that is the harbinger of death. And as soon as this happened, he said, "Okay, I'm fine now. I'm going home." He owned his own flat and no one could stop him. He went home on Monday. A couple of days later, his 80-year-old mother went to visit him. She was still trying to cope with the death of her husband just 6 months before. When she arrived at the flat, she found her son dead, and she also found plenty of empty vodka bottles. That evening, I got in my car and I drove 150 miles for a meeting with social services. They said, "You did everything that you could, so why did I feel so bad?" The truth was that I felt that we hadn't done enough, and my problem is that I still feel the same. Whilst there are people who have never heard of this illness, and there are people who die before their time from a mixture of alcohol and malnutrition, we still haven't done enough.